okay lap so far. We'll see how he compares to SV. Really needs to improve in this second sector. He's still a 10th.5 down on SV as we head through to the final sector, and now he can burn all of his ERS down the main straight. This straight, of course, considered a corner there with, well, these two straight kinds are kind of considered corners. He crosses the line. It's only good enough for P18. He has enough time, though, for another lap. Matthew next across the line. The Racing Bull's on a lap as well. SV not improving on his first sector. Matthew crosses the line. He was improving. He goes up into P12. There's good improvements for the Aston Martin driver. The Racing Bull's there does invalidate. I'm not really sure who that is, to be honest, as SV is on a slow lap as well, so he won't improve on this one, but we will see him go on another lap soon. Marley, we didn't see their first lap, but they are finally on for another one. No, they're not. They're doing a double lap. So we'll look at Pablos. Pablos behind Marley. Marley weaving and impedes Pablos. And Pablos matches Salu in the first sector, but with that impeding from Marley, is not going to finish that lap. Hazy now coming round. Is he on a fast lap as well? Or he's invalid on his lap. Pablos is not on his lap. Shadow 2 seconds slower, so a lot of people going round for second push runs, as I'm going to have to keep an eye on everyone, really. Lennon starts his lap. SV, I believe, is on a lap as well. Trying to find SV. Where is SV? There he is. Okay, we'll get rid of Aiden and get SV in. And then we'll put Aiden back in. There you go. Right, okay. So, look at that car park right at the end of the straight there. But luckily avoids it. SV improving on Pablos by quite a good margin here. 2/10, which will put him into the next part of qualifying. Lennon on an improved first sector. A lot of people improving in the first sector as SV crosses the line. What can he do? Goes up into P8. Fastest in sector 3. And that is great for the Williams team. And Lennon next across the line. Barker will follow. He's not improving much on you know, a lot of the other drivers. However, still making a little bit of improvement. I'm trying to add everyone as Lennon crosses the line. Goes P8. Barker crosses the line. He doesn't improve in the end. Jones crosses the line. Goes up into P11. Riley Murphy's on a lap as well. Van der Sant on a lap as well. Matthew, same with him. I'm trying to get a couple of other people who are on laps. I'm not 100% because it's quite chaotic at the moment. As Statlev goes up into P13, so he is, well, kind of just in the reaches of safety at the moment as Murphy is coming round the final few corners. Pablos there goes up into P5, securing his safety. Hazy stays P19. Murphy, where can he go? Up into P9 now. Man at risk here is Van der Sar as he rounds through the final corner. We can see where he get into the next part of qualifying. He will knock his teammate out. He crosses the line, goes ahead of his teammate, and he knocks him out. But both get knocked out by Matthew, who goes up into P14. So the two Alpines are now in. Will, the player who has just decided not to add his telemetry, is he on an improved lap at all? He's on a slow lap as well. So he is out of the session. The two Hasses, P16 and P17. And the two Saubers as well, P19, P20, in a day where Sauber could have claimed P6 in this Constructors. They are bottom of the barrel. And yeah, that is the end of qualifying. Lennon doing very well up in P10 there, where his teammate is in P18. Number 77 being rocked on this car. There we are. We can now wait for the next part of qualifying. Duffy taking the early advantage with a 7.6 is a good lap time already for the Mercedes. And of course, as I said, 6 points between the top two, 7 points if you win over P2. However, if Duffy wins the race, it means that Salu will really need Jeffy to fall down the order to salvage anything from the rest of this race, from this race, championship-wise. Yeah, I probably need to go and get a drink, to be honest. But yeah, as we wait around for no reason for the session to finish. Not 100% who we're waiting on. Maybe the player who came in. Of course, we are coming to the end of this season with the final race. We look towards next season. Look at how beautiful that graphic was, bro. And of course, all eyes are looking towards that Mercedes to be fastest. Heard the McLaren have a chance of being the fastest car though on the game, which is kind of insane to be honest. And I really hope it's not true. But yeah, got some fun lined up for next season to be honest. With the big reset, everything kind of changing. As we get ready now to head into Q2. And, yep, we'll be without the two Hasses, without the two Saubers, and the Racing Bulls as well. Who I said about. I'm dying here, to be honest. Cody, go away. Getting slandered already. I'll try and mute next time. As we start Q2. Right. Who's going to be the first one out? Is that any question? I really hope Marley signs up next season. Marley heads out on track. And there we go. We'll be the first one to set up. I love it, honestly. Thank you, Cody. I'm so glad I've had so many fans, aka Cody. As Marley celebrates, this could be the last time we have a Marley lap, a Marley opening lap. This could be the last time we see it this season, so we got to embrace it. We got to take it all in. As Marley has taken us around the first lap for pretty much every single session. Almost, I'd say the majority of every single qualifying session. Marley has led us round and done the first lap. We'll stick with this through into the next game, and I really hope that Marley continues to lead us round in qualifying as they ran through to start their lap, the long straight leading up to the start-finish line. And here we are, Marley, round turn 15 and towards the line, and we embrace this lap, which could be the final time that Marley sets us off. Of course, they could get into Q3, and then it's proper. But yeah, as Marley rounds through turn 1, 2, and 3 very cleanly, very neatly, stays on track. Of course, sets the fastest as we go. SV and Level on laps behind. Didn't really get to mention Level much because we kind of started a little bit late because of my issues. Lol. As Marley now on a pretty clean lap, has been an Alpine specialist for the last 2 seasons. Will we see a move for this driver? Flicks it in to turn 10 and now round this long left-hander of turn 11 towards the final braking zone of the lap through in towards sector 3. It's been a good lap from Marley so far. Of course, not completing any lap records really. But Level on a good lap behind as we round across the line. And it's a 9.0 to set us off. Next across the line will be the Williams of SV, who crosses the line and goes up into P2. 4 tenths behind there as Level beats him as well. As there we are, we can finally see the gaps as Quinn next across the line. Shelby comes into the pits. Quinn goes across to go up into P3. Tsunami, who has been dominant for the last couple rounds, goes up into P3. Murphy is P7 and next across the line. Salu, purple in sector 1. Jeffyboy did set the fastest lap while I was kind of losing my head. Murphy slow on a slow lap, so Pablos will be next across the line, followed by Salu. Pablos goes up into P4 just behind his teammate. Next across the line is going to be this man who is chasing that World Championship here in Division 2. Salu crosses the line and he's going to just go about 2 tenths ahead of his teammate. And he heads up into top of the timing. Next is going to be Josh Duffy, who led us round in Q1. Set the fastest lap for the Mercedes. As I believe Murphy is on a lap as well. As Duffy about 2.5 tenths slower than Salu in his early phase. But we'll see. It's round turn 14 into 15. And towards the line, where can Duffy go? It's not as fast as his Q1 time, but he goes up into P3 just ahead of his teammate. Next across the line is the other Williams of Riley Murphy. His teammate bottom of the barrel of laps who have, of people who have set lap times so far. We'll see if Murphy can get anywhere close to the top 5 maybe. 7th place for Murphy. That was still a very good lap for the Williams. And Lennon now is next across the line. P10 in the last session, so on a little bit of form, only 5 tenths away from Salu. I've put some around the Ferraris, which is still very good. It was a 7.6 was Q1's top time, as Lennon Egg splits the 2 Ferraris and goes up into P6. Great lap from him. As we'll have a little look at who's probably next across the line. Maybe, I think it's Aston of Jones. So Aiden going to be next across the line. Sorry, next to finish a lap. Yeah, nice. Words, sorry. Shelby behind as well, along with his teammate Barker. As Aiden comes towards, and he's at turn 4, and he's improving on Marley at the moment. Shelby with the fastest sector 1, improving on Marley by by a lot. Barker very similar to Jones as well on Marley. So Marley very much at risk. Of course, hasn't really set a representable lap time yet, but I'm sure the Aston Martins will want to get into that next part of qualifying. As Aiden rounds through turns 11 towards the final braking zone. He's 5 tenths up on Marley at the moment, so Marley will need a heap of improvement. Shelby, good sector 2 for him. It's going to be around the Mercedes level. Barker's the same, similar to Jones. As Jones now crosses the line, goes up into P7. Where can Shelby go as he crosses the line? He goes into the top of the timing just by half a tenth. Barker next across the line goes up into P10. So he is at the moment in Q3. However, of course, people are improving as the session goes on. Matthew next across the line in the Alpine, the only one that hasn't set a lap time so far. Can he get into the top 10 at all? No, he goes P14. The Alpine seeming to struggle here with that long straight. Really struggling. As currently the Red Bull of Quinn is out, is in the bottom 5, sorry, as SV is rounding turn 15 towards the line. Can he improve at all? Goes up into P12 just behind his teammate. So the Williams seem to be struggling as well for a little bit of pace. As we'll watch Quinn, because he is kind of at risk of being knocked out at the moment. But Tsunami has started another lap in the Ferrari. Tsunami has had 2 wins in the last 3 races, one of which, of course, being at the Ferrari home of Monza. And then they've also got the sprint race win in that race. Dominated quali, dominated everything in that round, but has been on champion form, really, over the past couple races. And very unfortunate that he's not in the championship fight, because he would be putting a lot of pressure on Salu and Jeffy. But he still has a role to play in this championship fight, of course, for Ferrari in their fight against Red Bull. As Pablos is also, of course, on a lap in the Ferrari, currently P9, so not tie up as Tsunami gets an invalid lap there. So we'll watch on with Marley, who is also on a bit of a slow lap for himself. So we'll watch Pablos then, who is hopefully on a better lap. As Quinn starts Sector 2, 3 attempts up on Barker, which is what he needs at the moment, needs some improvement. As we watch Pablos into turn 12, about a tenth and a half off of Shelby. Good improvements here, which is needed. I'm just going to turn down my own thing. Actually hearing for a second there. He activates DRS and the run towards the line. Where is he going to go up to? Up into P3. And temp away from Salu, putting a lot of pressure on the McLarens here. Ahead of Jeffy, level, goes up into P2. It's really close at the top. 10th covering the top 4. As Quinn now, it's still in P13 in the drop zone. He just needs to improve on this lap as he crosses the line. And he's up into P7. So big improvement there. And I mean, he's 3.5 attempts away from his teammate. However, still maybe okay for now. We need to kind of see everyone else to see if they are improving. Marley on about 5 attempts slower than Aiden Jones at the moment, but improving on their fastest lap, I believe. I'm not sure. It is yellow, so maybe not, but timing wise that should be, as Marley comes into the pits there. So yeah, bails on that lap. But very, very close at the top. Not led by one of the McLarens though. Of course I can. Check my messages where. Oh. As Duffy heads back out again. I believe Quinn is just coming into pits now, yeah. Tsunami as well, actually sooner to start a lap. Right click on the audio mixer. Go to properties. No. Sorry, Mons is trying to get me to do some stuff, and I can't lie, it's very difficult. Okay, Tsunami, not a great first sector from him, to be honest. Most of the stream has basically just been me being confused, which is great. And, yeah, Tsunami not really improving on the first sector. We'll see how it matches up to Tsunami. Sorry, to Shelby. It's okay to, like, at the moment. And Duffy is purple in sector 2. Half a tenth up on Shelby. This is important for the fight. Tsunami goes up into P6. Duffy, though, is very much on a much quicker lap as he crosses the line. He goes into the top of the timing with a 7.5. That is a very good lap time for him. No, Mons is like saying go to advanced stuff, which I've just found, to be fair. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, I can't be asked to do it after the session, to be honest. There's nothing going on right now. There's just SV. Just SV. Oh, this is very confusing. I don't like it. Now, we don't want to see these laps, but SV looking okay at the moment. I mean, improving on Aiden, which is what he needs to do as he crosses the line. Crosses the sector 2 line, sorry. I'm actually losing it. This is what happens when you're ill, bro. As, I mean, it's me most of the time, to be fair. as he activates DRS and the run towards the line. Can SV claw his way into the next part of qualifying? Goes up into P10, so he is still at risk, but that is a good improvement for him and just hunting for the Williams. As I believe Riley has backed out of his lap, so we'll see him go around again soon. So we're going to watch Aiden. Oh, I've just got rid of Aiden. There we go. Watch Aiden. Barker on a lap as well. The two Aston Martins fighting for their team to have a chance at P5 in the overalls and also P6 in this division. They are, they should be favourites really. But yeah, Matthew starts his lap. I'm sure we'll see Riley Murphy on his lap as well actually. So we'll just swap those two rounds. There you go. As it's okay from Jones so far. No real showing mistakes. See how it matches up to SV as we've got just under 20 seconds left. 2.5 temps up on SV at the moment. That is a big improvement that he does need as well for that security. Barker improving on SV's time as well. SV looking very much at risk at the moment of being knocked out of this part of qualifying. Barker crosses the line. He goes up into Jones up into P8. Barker, where can he go as he crosses the line up into P10? He's just on the cusp of quality as well. Quinn at risk as well, to be honest, as no one really improving that much. Murphy next across the line with the slipstream, crosses the line, only good enough for P13. Matthew next across the line. He's about 3 temps down in that middle sector, so I don't think it'll improve as he goes up in P14, so it's not enough to improve. Lennon goes up into P8, and that's Barker out of qualifying. The one Aston Martin gets through into the next part. Murphy matching Quinn. It's going to be close for Quinn if he gets through into the next part of qualifying. Marley crosses the line. It's only good enough for P14. I think it was matching up against Barker. But we lose both the Alpines, both the Williams, and Barker from this part of qualifying. Lennon scraping through with the Racing Bulls, getting a great lap. Quinn lucky not to be out in that Red Bull. About a 10th between them. And yeah, 5 temps covers that top group. And again, Salu is ahead of Jeffyboy. So it's looking good for him at the moment in quali. Salu versus Jeffy in quali so far is actually very close. It's 6-5 to Salu. So Salu shows a little bit more in quali, but then in the race it becomes 7-4 for Jeffyboy. So yeah, clearly it is close between them. They are very well matched drivers. Hence they're in the championship fight, I guess. But there we are. We move on to the next part of quali. As I'm going to try and sort that stuff that Mon said about. As we will not be getting our Marley lap. Who's that coming out so early? Tsunami coming out very early in the Ferrari. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, we're sorted. We are sorted. Right, so only half the field out at the moment as we head with Davey to the end of the lap. So we'll start to see him get ready. I know what I'm talking about, to be honest. Just trying to live. I'm dying. As Davey starts his lap for the Ferrari, as I said before, showing a lot of promise. The last few rounds can definitely try and bring it. This round hasn't really been as well as he is usually, so it's not looked as fast. The Mercedes keeps out the way there, not giving Davey any kind of slipstream. That was level. Shelby on his lap as well. Salu close behind, so we'll get the first inkling of who will take the advantage going into the race. As Davey round through the long turn 9, and seems like a good lap so far, to be honest. Doesn't seem like he's made too many mistakes. His teammate on a lap as well. I believe Shelby has invalidated the other Red Bull. Valid, but that's on his out lap, so he should be okay. Right near the end of the lap though, so he might be invalid again. As Tsunami runs the line, activates the ERS, burn as much ERS as he can. As he crosses the line, 7.7 pretty much to start his session. Salu will be the next to cross the line. He's a 10th and a half up on Tsunami at the moment. Pablos will see how he matches against his teammates, 6 tenths down, so really not competitive in comparison. Jeffyboy will see how he compares to his teammate, who's going to cross the line and hopefully top the time in by just about half a tenth. It's a good lap from Tsunami to get that close. Pablos is next across the line. He crosses, goes P3. Jeffyboy next across the lines. Quinn looking good as well. In Sector 1, purple. As Jeffyboy matches his teammate. It's half a tenth between them. As Quinn is about a tenth down on Salu as well. So it's looking close between all of the top 4 teams. As Jeffyboy comes towards the line, can he get one over his teammate? Can he get ahead? He goes ahead by half a tenth. Quinn next across the line. He goes up into P4, lose a bit of time down that straight. Level will be next in the Mercedes. As where can he go? As he crosses the line, brushes the wall, goes up into P4, 10th and a half down on Jeffyboy. Jeffyboy really coming out strong in this early part. Duffy matching Jeffyboy in the first sector. Lennon only a 10th and a half down in the first sector. We'll see what Jones can do though, as he's about to come into the final braking zone. 5.5 tenths down, but he's fighting Pablos there really, so yeah, maybe a slower lap for the Aston Martin driver, maybe on used tyres. As Jones goes up into P6. Oh my goodness, it sounded like my whole chair just cracked. As Duffy, a 10th up on Jeffyboy at the moment. Purple in Sector 2. And we'll see where can Duffy go, as this should be up to the top of the timing. He goes top. Purple in Sector 2 and 3 there. Lennon next across the line as well. He goes up into P7. So great lap from him, 6.5 tenths down on Duffy, but Duffy taking the provisional pole position. And I mean, he looked strong in Q1 and now is looking strong in Q3. Salu's not on a lap, is he? I know that Salu likes his double laps. I mean, he was purple in Sector 2. We'll see what it comes across. He improves on his lap, goes ahead of his teammate, and is half a tenth down on Duffy. I did think, I was like, hang on a minute. He looks like he's pushing a little bit here. And he was. Is Lennon on a double lap as well? I'm not 100% sure if he is. Have a look at his timing. No, he's definitely not. So Salu going up into P2. Of course, have a look at the championship. 6 points between the two McLaren drivers. And it's advantage to Salu at the moment. However, that is all provisional because we still have the final flying lap of qualifying and of Division 2 this season. Of course, on this game as well. And it will just, after this, there'll be one more session left of the whole season with Division 1 tomorrow. So, yeah. We will not be there. As Salu should be coming into the pits now. As Shelby finally comes out to start his lap. Of course, invalidated first time around. Crosses the pit exit line there. Lucky it's the quali. Oh dear. We are dying. It's a little bit shady around this part of the track. Also, for some reason, corner numbers have just stopped working. As Shelby will want to be round about his teammate. Red Bull, of course, would want to be ahead of Ferrari. As I said before, 3 points separate those two for P3 in the Constructors. That's really weird ones. Oh well. As he comes towards turn 1 now. See the timer pop up anytime soon. Shelby needing a good lap here. He has enough time, of course, for another run if he messes this one up or if he just wants one anyway. As he's up on Duffy by around a tenth. Not the fastest of them all, however still faster than Duffy. As we head round towards turn 6, this long right-hander is actually turn 6 and turn 7, considered 2 corners. Didn't realise that, to be honest. There is 2 apexes, to be fair. As we head towards turn 10 now, and Shelby maybe slowing down a little bit too much, so I think he has backed out on his lap. Yep, decides that wasn't good enough, so we'll probably go again. Maybe as usual as ERS. We'll find out, I guess. He's going very slowly to try and build up some of that ERS back up so he has enough for another lap. And I did say he had enough time for another one. I believe this will be that other one. Shelby crosses the line to start what could be another lap, his final lap of qualifying. Invalidates as well. So, not looking good for Shelby. Has one more chance. Does he have enough fuel for it, though? As that's 2 laps now in a row where he's not been happy. Currently, well, technically 3 if you include the first one as well, because he invalidated that one. And yep, as he comes through turn 6 and 7, Tsunami comes out as well, along with his teammate Pablos. Same with Aiden. And Salu going to get the front of the 2 McLaren drivers. Around 2 minutes remaining of the session to go. And we'll start to see people setting their final laps soon. As everyone should be out on track. Yep, everyone out on track, or at least coming out. Jeffyboy holding back a little bit before he came out, so building up a nice gap. 2 Mercedes quite close together. Maybe they'll work together. As Shelby is rounding through the final corner to get ready to start his lap. He's coming in, so Shelby will not do a lap at all. As we're going to head to Pablos, who hasn't done a proper lap yet, I believe, apparently having damage on his first run. As Pablos is going to need a nice lap here. P9. 8 attempts down on this fight for pole. His teammate behind him could have given him a DRS, as everyone now has got enough time for 1 lap to go, apart from Shelby, who cannot simply cannot set a lap. Tsunami improving on Duffy's time. Pablos doing well as well, improving on his personal best. As We head through turn 8. The two Ferraris, of course, fighting Red Bull. One Red Bull out of this fight for pole position. Can they utilise this? Of course, we also look at the fight for the drivers' championship, as Pablos a 10th down on Duffy at the moment. Tsunami not setting the world alight, about the same as Pablos. So both Ferraris looking pretty similar in pace, but not looking to challenge towards pole position. Pablos crosses the line. He goes up into P4. Tsunami next across the line. He goes up in. He stays P5 behind his teammate. Salu not improving on the first sector. Purple in sector 2. Half a 10th up on Duffy. Jones crosses the line. He's going to go up into P8. Salu next across the line. So important to get this final sector right for his championship as he crosses the line and he goes provisional pole position. But there are still everyone on laps. Duffy, Jeffy on laps. Quinn on a lap as well. No one improving on the first sector. Lennon up into P8. Quinn 3 seconds down, so he will not improve. It is now down to Duffy and Jeffyboy. Jeffyboy half a 10th down on his teammate. Duffy needs to set the world alight in this final sector. He had a little bit of impeding from the car there as he goes up into provisional pole. Jeffy goes up into P2, more importantly ahead of his teammate. Level takes pole position on the final lap by not even that, by 16 thousandths of a second. Look how close the top 4 is, and Level out of nowhere takes pole position for Mercedes. And on a day where we're so focused on the two McLarens, it's Mercedes that come out with a front row lockout. Wow. And that is Level. Pole position for him in the Mercedes. I screenshot it. I did screenshot it. Don't worry, as it's so close at the top. Wow. What an ending to the quali session. As there we are. Not sure why the image was so zoomed in. Lennon and Jones doing very well there. Ferrari getting the better over Red Bull in this quali session. And between the two McLaren drivers who are fighting for this championship, it is 6-6 in quali. They have levelled each other. Of course, going into the races, Jeffy very much does take the cake. But if there's any time to get your first win of the season, it would be now for Salu. Salu needs an insane race. And we've got 36 laps until we decide the driver's champion. James has just found out he's got a 1-2. Nice one, buddy. Oh, really need a drink to... maybe paracetamol as well, just to soothe my throat a little bit, to try and get me through the race. I'll try not to scream, but you know what I mean by scream. I'm not going to be like, ah, my God. Maybe could message my dad, to be fair, get him to... As we head now into the race. Finally. Just get rid of that real quick. So, what kind of strategies are we going to be seeing here? Should be majority mediums, maybe some hards. If anyone's on the softs, I mean, good luck to you, bud. You are finished. I'm just going to turn that audio down a little bit. We didn't use replays once, by the way. Really sorry, guys. We will try and use it for the race. I think Mon said that it clips automatically, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll just find out, I guess. Okay, there we go. on to the formation lap. As we look at the starting tyres for everyone. And everyone is starting on the mediums. So, level brings us round. It clips the start. Yay! So we'll watch the start at some point. Nice. I'll try and use replays, guys. I mean, I haven't, like, used them before, so I'm not going to be used to it. Same with the screenshots as well. Like, I'll try and use that, but I can't promise anything because, yeah, I just don't do it enough. Thank you, strategist Charlotte, for saying soft hard is possible. It would have been funny to see soft hard in this race, but yeah, we are not seeing any softs. No one's gone soft today. Sauber's been disqualified. I'm sure we're gonna have to watch and make sure that he hasn't been disqualified, you know, illegally against the rules, taking advantage of the glitch. But it's a Sauber. What can you really do? Is it hazy? No, it's not hazy. Okay. It's shadow. If it was hazy, I'd be a bit more suspicious. But we're rounding through the final couple corners to set the grid. Level no longer leading us round because he's, you know, being normal. The Ferrari's storming off to get to his grid. As we start slotting into place. The final race of the championship starts in just a moment. And by the end of these 36 laps, we will crown a new Division 2 champion. The same team, but yeah. Here we are as we get ready to start the final race of the season here at São Paulo. It's going to probably bug out a little bit. There we go to 5 lights. It's the 2 Mercedes followed by the 2 McLarens. And we are underway for the final time. And it's a good start from both at the front. Jeffyboy maybe getting a better start behind Duffy, trying to make a move on his teammate. They stay hard by side. Someone flying off in the background. I think that was an Aston Martin. Has gone wide and you see him in the background. Level holds on to his lead. Followed by Duffy. Then followed by the 2 McLarens still fighting each other. The 2 Ferraris trying to hold off Lennon at the front. But Level doing very well to hold on to the lead at the moment. Oh, whoops. I meant to show Rose. There we go. As Jeffyboy did hold on to that P3. The 2 McLarens staying as they were. Quinn trying a move down the inside of Lennon. It's going to turn into the outside for turn 9. It's very difficult to try and get the exit there as he's under pressure from his teammate as well, who's trying to fight through the order. Shelby gets tagged and he's round, and that's SV has made contact. Gone straight across the track as well. I'm not sure what's happened there. My game's just like paused. And SV's just caused an absolute pile up there. Yeah, I'm not even sure what's going on. Makes contact with Statlev as well. Statlev caught up in that as well. I mean, what is going on between those two? As Jeffyboy makes the move around the outside of Duffy. He's going to try and hold it through turn 1. Can't do it. Duffy maintaining the pressure at the moment, but Level trying to clear away. As Jeffyboy looks very racy against Duffy. Duffy trying to hold on. It's not going to be enough, but it somehow is. Jeffyboy basically pushing Duffy down the straight there as we head towards the much more difficult to overtake Sector 2 as Aiden tries to get past Matthew there for P16, trying to make up some ground. As Aiden fighting now the Sauber of Hazy for the P15. He's trying to make a move. I'm not sure what happened at the start. We'll see what actually did happen as we get the replay. Okay, nothing happened. Ah. Worth a try. Oh, there we go. As we get the start. It's a little bit laggy. There, of course, the 2 Mercedes. Jeffy did very well. Came to cover off of Salu. And then went a little bit wider to Vert. And there you see the Aston just went straight on. Not sure really what happened between those. But yeah. And that was the start for them. And there we are back now live. That was quite entertaining. I've never used that before, to be honest. So that was quite insane. as Shadow gets past Aiden. Aiden actually, I think, has made a mistake because he is now very far down the order. So I think Aiden having a bit of a rough time for the Aston Martin, which helps out Williams a ton in the overalls. As here, Jeffy just hunting down Duffy a little bit, level, about 8 attempts clear, maybe trying to keep Duffy in his DRS to keep them both in the fight here. Could be on for a Mercedes 1-2. But yeah, Jeffy doing a good job to hold his teammate, which is all he needs to do at the moment to retain his championship. As we have a little look at how this plays out if it continues. Everything's being very laggy at the moment. I've clicked a button and it's not come up. I've clicked a couple things and it's not come up. I'll click it again and see what happens. There we are. As, yep, 3 points gained, and it will be Jeffyboy's championship if it remains as it is, which of course it's not going to, because it's a long race, so we'll be seeing anything. Salu's got the fastest lap at the moment. Jeffy is still pushing round Duffy. Cannot do anything to try and get past the Mercedes. The straight line speed with the DRS, I guess it's just, this is a very DRS trained track. Because of how twisty Sector 2 is, the dirty air kind of slows you down a little bit. You get a bit stuck. There's no real chances for overtakes. And then you get down the long straight. Everyone's running low wings, so you all just sit in the same straight. It's very samey. However, it's all about strategy as well. I'm pretty sure every driver's probably on the same strap, but we might see some two-stoppers here today. Jeffyboy around 5 attempts. His teammate about 4 attempts behind him. The two McLarens not fighting each other so early on, kind of maybe working together to try and get past the Mercedes. Both will still want to win the race. They'll know the championship can be wrapped up, and Jeffy will know that the championship can be wrapped up with this place. However, we'll want to do it in style and go out with the season with his 5th win of the season. But Salu looking a little bit more racy behind at the moment, looking, I don't know, it's close between them. I think most times, I mean, at that point, there was a moment where they were exactly the same thing. As contact between the Haas and the Racing Bull and the Williams, as Van der Sart here gets a little bit out of shape. I think he made contact with the Williams of Murphy. Oh, I can clear that now. Yeah, I think contact with Murphy was what caused that. I saw that they were side by side, and then suddenly both drivers were off, and we saw the Racing Bulls of whoever P12 is, Spudsy or whatever, go wide. So big contact in the midfield. Of course, those two teams, Aston Martin and, sorry, that's Haas, bro. Haas and Williams, not very, I don't know what I'm saying, bro. As we turn our attention back to the lead fight. Very similar gaps again up the top. Jeffy 3 attempts behind, 2 attempts behind. Can he tuck into the slipstream? No, he can't at all. It's not good enough to try and get past. I mean, he's struggling at this early stage. This is a pretty quiet race at the moment up front. It seems to be they're working together as Aiden makes a move on Shadow, and they're still side by side a little bit out of turn 4. But around turn 5, Aiden gets the move done and moves up into P16 after that early 2 mistakes now, with the think different mistake and then whatever happened as well a few laps ago. Level really doing well at the moment to lead. Just holding his pace. Jeffy has no chance against Duffy, which is helped by the fact that Level is giving him DRS, as maybe he went into none for a little bit too long there, but they keep the same distance really. Duffy is doing very well to stay ahead. Shelby comes past Marley up into P10 after an incident as well, which dropped him back. Jeffy towards turn 3. Is he going to make a lunge? Nope, he sticks behind this time around. As they remain, that top 4 remains the same. The 2 Ferraris still sticking in there. Lennon luckily sticking on there on the back of this field, There's a bit of a gap then where the DRS breaks between Quinn and Lennon. As we'll look, oh, the racing ball slides almost into the path of the Alpine and moves down into P15. It's Spurt, Max Spurt, sorry. As we watch on with these top guys again, and it seems that Jeffyboy is going to maybe try and shape up a move again on Duffy. Duffy saving his ERS as much as he can. Further behind, there's an incident with Matthew and Spud and Spurky, but what is his name? Okay, Spurt. Am I Spurt? Has made a mistake, I think, with Matthew as well. I think both have had contact. Turn our attention again to the front pack. Salu trying to get out of the dirty air, just to help his tyres a little bit here. As we look at the tyre wear percentage, all of the top guys running around 35%. The two Ferraris running around 40, shows the difference between them. As I believe there was a little bit of fighting going on between Barker and Quinn. As, yeah, I mean, not really much going on right now, just they are holding on to their positions. Level doing very well out front, I will say again, leading the field very strongly. As we'll watch on with Jeffy again, who is around 6/10 behind Duffy this lap. You see him burning a little bit of ERS just to keep up and make sure that Salu doesn't have a chance on him as well. As again, the gaps remain the same in this fight. Maybe a move for Barker, who's got past Quinn. However, Quinn gets the switch back round towards turn 3, and then he's on the outside. Shelby trying to get involved, who forces his way through onto Barker and up into P9. That's very smart from him. Is he going to make a move on his teammate as well? No, stays behind his teammate. Well worked by the two Red Bull drivers, as they do well to gain a position for themselves. As Quinn maybe slowing down Shelby a little bit here. Shelby bumps into the back of him. Sorry. Maybe giving him the hurry along. As no real change at the moment between these two either. Same with the fight at front. Are we going to see a move though from Shelby as we head towards turn 1? Lennon, Tsunami actually comes into the pits. Same with Barker. And as we head into turn 1, is Shelby going to make a move down the inside? Barker, 10-second time penalty for him. As here, Shelby can't get past his teammate. He'll kind of feel that his teammate is slowing him up a little bit. Statlev with a 10-second as well for pit lane speeding. So lots of pens flying around. As Shelby remains behind Quinn. And Shelby will feel some type of way that he feels his teammate is kind of slowing him up, as he's pretty much pushing him into turn 6 and 7. It's, yeah, I mean, it seems strange strategy call for the Red Bull team to not let him through. Shelby will maybe make a reckless move down the inside. You'll never know. But he needs to get past into turn 1. He's very much getting slowed down by his teammate now. Look at this. Yeah, the gap is now 5.7 seconds to the cars ahead, and it was 4.8, I believe, before sector 2. So yeah, Quinn really slowing down Shelby at the moment. As we head through the DRS straight, Quinn comes into the no, he doesn't, sorry, I thought he was coming into the pits there. And as we head towards turn 1, Shelby again sits behind him, pushing him along. Is he going to make the move now into turn 4? I think that is the next opportunity for him. He's sat right close. Spurt comes into the pits as well. Are we going to see, again, Quinn burning down the straights perfectly to keep ahead? Thank you. I said the big 2. That means ibuprofen. Yeah, please. Sorry, we just bagged a drink. As... Sorry. Shelby sits just behind his teammate still, can't make any kind of move. He needs a reckless send really to get past. As we head down the straight again with Shelby and Quinn, the two Red Bulls, not helping each other at all. Quinn heads into the pits, pretty sure that that was a cut from the that was weird, from the Red Bull driver. We will have a little replay of that and see if that was a cut. See if this works. I pressed replay, by the way, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. As, of course, we join him round the corner. We went on board. Are we going to see a cut from the Red Bull? As we head round turn 15. There's the pit line. Oh, he cuts across the pit line. So that could potentially be a penalty for the Red Bull. As we head back now live. I'm having fun playing around with these graphics. It's quite fun. Ooh. Sorry, I was taking my drugs. And Salu pits in lap 13. Maybe a bit early, but I'm sure he'll make the... yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. As Shelby comes in as well. SV gets the first 3 seconds of the race. These guys at the front still sitting around the same gap that they have been for majority of this race. It's going to be important to see where Salu comes out compared to the likes of Quinn and Tsunami as well, who is very clear of this group. He's come out behind Matthew. So a lot of work to do to catch up to Tsunami. Tsunami going for the undercut. And, yep, we'll have to keep an eye on Tsunami in this race, because he may be on a 2-stop, but I'm not sure. But very brave for Salu to go for the undercut here. As we head round, Jeffyboy has to react to his teammate. Cannot risk being jumped by his teammate. Can't risk track position. It's going to be close as Salu gets past Marley. These two, I believe, used to be teammates start of last season in the Alpine. Now Marley will want to help him fight. That was Matthew anyway, so I don't even know what I'm on about. Nice one, buddy. As Murphy gets a 10-second as well. Where's Jeffyboy going to come out of the pits? He's coming round now. Salu's coming round the first couple corners. It's going to be close between the two of them. As Salu is going to get past Jeffy. It's going to be close. And Salu is going to come out just about ahead of Jeffyboy. Maybe a cut there from Jeffy as well of the exit of the pit lane. I know how strict we are with the pits. But Salu has jumped his teammate in the pits with the undercut. And considering that Jeffy was right behind the two Mercedes, it seems that Salu could have a good chance here to undercut the two Mercedes as well. If they don't come in anytime soon, we should be seeing at least one of them come in this lap. It should be Duffy with the... yeah, it's level, so level takes priority here. I didn't realise, by the way, but they did swap. I don't know when that happened. But Jeffy... Now the chasing car on Salu. Salu doesn't have DRS though, so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be interesting to see where these two come out compared to level as we head down towards turn 1. As Jeffy is going to head to the inside, down the inside of Salu. They're side by side, the two championship rivals, as we head into turn 2. And he's left just about enough space, left his teammate on the curb, and Salu defends beautifully for that position as now we head down the straight towards turn 4, and it's another opportunity, but Salu gets that sorted and he holds on to what is now P5, and they jump level as well in the pits. Wow, what a fight between the two championship rivals. You call it rivals, they are very friendly to each other, but you got to call it that. The two championship contenders in this season, and they are fighting respectfully as well between the two of them. Of course, contact last season there was between the two championship rivals. You don't want to be seeing that again, as Jeffy will remain behind Salu for another lap. Duffy stays out. Pablos and Lennon come into the pits. Tsunami is in the net race lead at the moment. If you look at the championship, Duffy, Jeffy will still win the championship as it stands, but all things can change as we move up another position from the two people of pit. Barker moves up into P6 as well. He's going to be fighting along close to Pablos, as there's a yellow flag. It's a Sauber in the pits, and Shadow is out of this race, as there's a virtual safety car now. So this will bunch, well, it won't bunch them up at all. It's gonna, yeah, 10-second penalty for Hazy and Shadow. Hazy with contact with Shadow, so maybe there was something there. As a full course safety car has now come out. Duffy looks like an absolute genius staying out, as he's been gifted an absolute gem of a lead of the race. Tsunami should be pitting in this lap as well. The strategy has worked so well for Duffy. What tyre wear was he on? He was only on 70%, to be fair. He's done really well with his tyres. 24% for Tsunami. He will need to pit soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come in. As Sauber, on a day where they are fighting for P6, have completely bottled it, really. Are we going to see Salu come out ahead of Tsunami? I think the two McLarens are going to, the two McLarens do come out ahead of Tsunami. Actually, a lot of people do, to be fair. But this really does bunch up the field. What was my last replay that I saved? We'll have a look. It's a bit out of whack as well. I didn't sort that. But this was the fight between the two drivers. The two McLaren drivers fighting side by side. And that was a very clean fight. But we are now under safety car conditions, as Duffy leads us ahead of the two McLarens. Of course, the two McLarens fighting with what they... I don't know what I've just said there. As Hazy's gone on the softs. Not the greatest. We should be seeing Murphy pop in anytime soon as well, because he has a 10-second time penalty to serve from speeding in a pit, so we should be seeing him come in and serve that. But we go in. I think I can select which one I do. So the race start, that one. Sorry, just admiring the fact that I have replays now, to be honest. Murphy doesn't come in, so he's not getting rid of that 10 seconds. So that's strange. I guess plans to go to the end as we have a little look. Shelby and Salu may be the only two that, well, and Spurt, 21% on hard tyres. Just pit in, bud. Hi, Van Bergen. My go. As safety cars really changed the race a little bit here. As we'll look at the top two in the championship again, just to get an idea of what is going to happen. 3 points separate them as it stands, 18 and 15. Salu will need to either overtake Duffy or have Level and Quinn overtake Jeffy. So a lot of pressure is really on Salu to try and get past Duffy. Duffy of which is on new tyres as well. So it's going to be very difficult to kind of try and overthrow him. at the start, and then at the end of the stint as well, because he'll have, you know, 10% fresher tyres than Salu. So it's going to be interesting to see how this race pans out. We are at half race distance, and yeah, this is interesting. So let's have a little look at the that fight that we're talking about for P6. Racing Bulls, Aston Martin and Sauber. 3 points separate them, and at the moment it's going in favour of Racing Bulls. So yeah, Racing Bulls with Aston Martin and Sauber not getting any points at the moment. And yep, I mean, not much to talk about really. There's been a good race so far. We'll actually just have a little look at the race start first, because I don't know, I just want to. We'll see the Aston Martin maybe absolutely fly. Because of course this decides to close everything again, because it's really strange. Yeah, we should get the replay pop up. Holds on to the Mercedes lead, and that kept the McLarens up there as well. We'll watch the background maybe this time, where we see what happens further back. I don't know, Aiden just seems to genuinely just think different and just run wide. So yeah, that was what happened at the start. I mean, there's not much to look at with the safety car out. However, it is now ending, so we will turn our attentions back to the start of the safety car period. And what am I even saying? 10-second penalty for Van der Saan for a collision, so they've maybe touched a little bit too much, so I'm sure that will be reported. As Duffy will not want to give Salu a run on him, as he's gone now. He's gone very early at the pit entrance, however, left Salu for dust as Jeffyboy puts pressure on Salu as we head into turn one. Down the inside, no. Jeffyboy stays out of it. Quinn making a move on level. They're side by side. Round turn 3 as there's fights as well with the Ferrari behind trying to get a nose in. That is Pablos trying to overtake. They're going to go 3 wide potentially in towards turn 4. And Level is going to be the one to hold it. Quinn down the inside. There's a little bit of contact, but Level comes out on top of that and holds on to B4. But Quinn putting more pressure on behind, but can't get ahead in towards turn 6, and he holds on to his position. Shelby under pressure from the Red Bull and the Ferrari as well, with Shelby and Tsunami. Lennon trying his hardest to get Racing Bulls some good points here. 10 seconds for Statler for track limits, that's insane. Lots of 10 seconds flying about. Riley Murphy up into P10 past the Alpine, as there's this massive fight going on right now for what I believe is P5 as we head on to lap 21. As Pablos heads to the outside line on Quinn. They're going to go side by side. There's a fight going on behind as well between the other Red Bull as Riley retires. There's a yellow flag is in the pit as they're still fighting, as Pablos and Quinn are side by side. They're nip and tuck as they head towards turn 4. Quinn on the outside. They bang wheels a little bit. Pablos maybe running him a little bit, just enough alongside as Quinn holds it around the outside. There's a more contact as well, and Quinn holds on there to that position. That was insane from these two, really putting on a show for us. And behind, I think Lennon was under pressure from Shelby, but did very well to hold on to his position as Riley retires there, and his car is coming to a stop. Shelby there goes a little bit wide and lets Tsunami pass, and then is pushed wide as well by Marley, expecting maybe a little bit more space as now Van der Saan goes past as well. Shelby falling off the face of the earth at the moment after that little bit of contact. As we now head towards turn 1 again with Pablos and Quinn. Are we going to see a recreation of what we saw just moments ago as we head now towards turn 1? Tsunami is past Lennon, and oh, there's contact, and Quinn is round and in the wall as well, as Quinn just seems to swerve into him. Not really sure what's happened there, as now under pressure is Pablos on Tsunami. Tsunami's going to go down the inside and lets Pablos lets him through There's big contact between those two. We definitely need to see the replay of that. We'll just quickly show the rows so we can at least see for now while the replay loads. The tower had a great run on him this time around. We were going to see what was going to happen, what happened last time, and then suddenly, you know, going here, he heads to the inside. Quinn just swerves into him and hits him, fully hits into him. Yeah, really strange collision between the two rivals. Ugh. And that is insane from these two. Salu is now closer to Duffy than he's been the last couple laps, as Hazy gets past Spurt further behind for P13. As Davey sets the fastest lap, he pit alongside Duffy, so clearly their hard tyres showing up right now. That is so strange. I still can't believe that. Quinn speeds in the pit lane. I'm sure we're going to see a retirement from Quinn anytime soon. This is very much gifting the third place. Oh, Quinn misjudged it. That's fair enough. At least it wasn't malicious. And he does retire from the race. Stal over 3 seconds as well. As we look at this fight up the front, it was a lot closer a second ago. Now suddenly it's opened up a little bit, and now Jeffyboy putting more pressure on Salu than the other way round. They're very similar tyre wear, these two. Duffy has much better tyres than these guys, so he can maybe have an advantage as we head closer to the end of the race. Lap 24 out of 36, and as it stands, I mean, Jeffyboy will still be winning the championship. He has one hand on the trophy at the moment. Maybe just needs to get past Salu, so he has both hands on it. Well, sorry, yeah, if he gets past Salu, he'll definitely have both hands on it. Salu needs to get past Duffy, and he'll also have both hands on it. So it's very close between these two. As, yep, Aiden makes a move further behind on Matthew. As SV as well, trying to make up for that horrible lap 1 incident that he had, where he just decided to park it across the track, which was great fun. Barker putting a bit of pressure on SV ahead. There's a couple cars here. As you see up the road, you see the Haas and Shelby. So that is for P9. Marley ahead of them. That train leads all the way down to P5, which is Tsunami, who you just can't seem to gain on level at the moment. A little bit of lag there for Barker, who, yeah, you don't really see lag from very often. Salu about 5 tenths behind Duffy at the moment. It's not looking too close. Duffy looks like he's managing very well as Van der Sant gets past Marley there down in towards turn 1. Is Marley going to have a try again down the straight? He's going to have DRS as we head towards turn 4. He pulls to the outside and side by side Van der Sant, a little bit of contact, stays on the track and just holds his position. And Shelby now trying to make a move on Marley after seeing Marley get a little bit out of position, but just can't make anything stick at the moment. Really struggling to get past. This is really not a track you want to be fighting through traffic on. As around the second sector, it does seem to be that these guys will stay in the same order. Marley maybe putting a little bit of pressure on. Maybe I'm lagging a little bit here because there was a little bit of weirdness going on. As Marley sits behind Van der Sant, are we going to see a move in towards turn 1? Maybe see a move against Marley in towards turn 1. Marley down the inside is going to stick a nose in just about. Van der Sant leaves the space, which is very respectful because really didn't need to, but Marley maybe setting up for an overtake in towards turn 4, much closer down this straight. As we head down, SV making a little move now. Marley round the outside, turns in on it, Van der Sant a little bit there. They're still side by side on the exit of turn 5 as SV has got past, and so has Barker on Shelby. So I'm not 100% on what happened between those two while we were watching that. Oh, does it? Okay, I can't do screenshots then, Bonzi. Oh well. It's fine. Still new tech, especially for some reason, bad PC, which is good when it wants to be. I don't even know anymore. It's just a very weird PC. Marley sitting close behind Van der Sant this time. It looks towards turn 1. Down the inside of turn 15. It's done before turn 1. A little bit of contact. SV now makes a move down the inside. It's very horribly laggy. I think that's me, to be honest. My internet must be horrible at the moment. Shock horror, really, as Marley comes out on top of all of that. SV, though, putting a lot of pressure as we head down the inside in towards turn 4. And SV has the move done and up in towards P8. As further behind, I think that was Hazy or Shelby, just went straight on completely. Both of them actually went straight on. And now Shelby makes a little bit of contact with Matthew as well. Shelby down in P16. This is the worst thing for Red Bull. They're down in P16 and DNF, and they have really capitulated in this race. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, isn't it, Monzi? I don't know what's wrong with this PC. Like, it's just something. I don't know. This PC is fine though. Now this is just lag. Like, honestly, my PC is bugging a little bit. It's not my PC. It's probably just my Buns Wi-Fi. Hey ho. There's down the straight. We're watching Shelby here, who's going to make a move on Matthew, trying to recover something from this race. We look further up. Jones making a move on Hazy, who has also had a little mistake that lap, same lap as we saw. SV now up into P8, however has a 3-second time penalty. Van der Sant is pushing, putting a bit of pressure on Marley, but Barker's putting a little bit of pressure on him, and then Statlev right behind him putting a bit of pressure on him. So there's a nice little train here going on in the midfield. As we watch further up, Jeffyboy maybe thinking a little bit here, thinking he might have the championship up for grabs. Tyre wise, they are set for the end of the race. They will be fine up at the top here. It's just a case of can they make any overtakes at all, as Salu maybe closer than he's been for the last couple of laps. Goes for a move down the inside. There's a lot of contact there. Jeffyboy, Duffy goes wide, and now Salu under pressure from Jeffyboy. Duffy cuts across the track. Jeffyboy putting pressure on his teammate. Can he make the move stick? No, he can't. Duffy, rightfully so, keeps his position up in the lead of the race, as there was too much contact between Salu. And yeah, this was it was definitely Duffy's line to make. He definitely didn't need to do anything there. So we'll have a quick check of track limits while we can. Jeffyboy has 2, Salu has none, Duffy has 1. Duffy's probably just got that 1 from that incident there. Internet is shocking. I've said to fix it already, to be honest, and nothing's been said. So I'm thinking of just buying my own broadband, which can be great. I don't know. Yeah, this is horrible. Salu has lost so much time. He's now out of DRS, and now Jeffyboy is pretty much pushing him round. He's down the inside towards turn 15. Jeffyboy takes hold of P2. And in the respect of the championship, that puts a really difficult task on Salu's shoulders. He needs to somehow get past his teammate again, and Duffy as well, or hope that Jeffy really messes up. But currently, as it stands, it doesn't look like that's really going to be the case. 10-second penalty for Shelby. Shelby's retired. It's a double DNF for the Red Bull team. As Spurt comes in as well. You look at the top fight there, 9 points difference. The gap extends, and Jeffyboy will win the championship if it remains like this. But Salu will surely not go out without a fight. He's within DRS of Jeffyboy. Jeffyboy really close to the DRS of Duffy. It keeps teetering in and out, shaking all about. And it seems that Salu has now dropped out of the DRS. Salu's tyres must have just fully gone off. I mean, They shouldn't have. He's on the same wear as Jeffyboy, but for some reason, he's just fumbled these last couple laps, and at the moment, it's not looking good for Salu in terms of the championship. We have 6 laps remaining, level, slowly gaining on them. Further behind, there's an absolute scrap going on, I think, as the 2 Ferraris swap round between each other. They're fighting for P5. They've got Lennon right behind them. Spurt has left the session. He is out of this race as well. Didn't even see that he DNF'd. As Salu gets himself back into the fight in with Jeffy and Duffy. Duffy kind of sailing away a little bit here, though. I mean, it's 8 temps between them, 9 temps now. It's going to be difficult for Jeffy to try and make a move, so Duffy might get the win here, but still anything is possible. We could see any kind of mistakes as the championship draws ever so close to the end. As Jeffy is looking in prime position to take the championship win away from Salu. Salu, by the way, has not won a single race this season. His last win came in Mexico last season in round 10, so he's gone a while without a win, and it's looking ever so likely like he'll have to wait longer for another chance. But I'm sure with his performance this season, he would have inspired him, well, he would have shown himself to be a good driver to be interested in the top seat next season as well. As further behind, Statlev gets overtaken by Barker. Barker having a pretty poor race for Aston Martin, really down in P13. Aiden Jones putting pressure on Van der Sant, and this is for the last point, as Van der Sant does have a 10-second penalty, so he will move ahead of him anyway, but he would much rather do it on track. Not much has really happened last couple of laps. It's been quite calm. It's the calm before the storm, as we see the top guys maybe scrap it out for the win. Salu will maybe start to get desperate nearer to the end, or will just accept that the championship has not gone in his favour. Sorry. As Aiden Jones, he's going to make a move on Van der Sant. Van der Sant can't do anything about that. And is he going to get overtaken by the Sauber as well? Hazy going for a good move on Van der Sant. Van der Sant in one corner has just gone down 2 places, as they're still fighting side by side. Good fight between the two. And Hazy comes off the worst of the two, but Van der Sant will still maybe try and put a bit of pressure on. No, he doesn't. And that is a good overtake for... sorry, that is a good hold-off from Van der Sant as they fought round through turn 1, 2 and 3. Don't even know what I'm saying, to be honest. As we will watch that replay. Everything's taking a while, which makes me think that, like, I am just lagging a little bit here. Because, yeah, just everything takes a long time to do the replays. But yeah, we see that. We'd already seen, and the Sauber goes for the good move down the inside. But then Van der Sant gets him on the switchback, takes the outside line, which then turns into the inside, and then holds on to his position. It was very good from the Haas driver. As we stay on with these top 3, Jeffyboy looking closer to Duffy, as we've got 3 laps remaining of this championship to go. And still, it remains in Jeffy's favour. For some reason, my whole thing's just stopped lagging. I've clicked top 2 and it's instantly shown them. Jeffy holding on to the championship right now with one hand on it. All he needs is to come home ahead of Salu at this point. If he stays like this, it doesn't even matter. Even if it swaps, it doesn't matter. It's just if Salu then gets past Duffy that we have a problem for Jeffy. But Jeffy holds position, just defends. Nothing can happen. As we head through towards turn 12 and now down the straight, is Jeffy going to try and shape up a move in towards turn 1 or even turn 4? It could be either. as it's around 6 tenth gap between the two drivers. 6 tenths ahead, 6 tenths behind. Jeffy not close enough in towards turn 1. Oh, I see. That's fair. Fair enough. Thank you, Monzi. As down the straight, 5 tenths between them as we are on the penultimate lap now of the championship. And Salu will start to feel the title slipping away from him, as he's never really been, you know, this close to the championship. Last season, he was fighting, I believe, for P3. This time, he's right in the thick of it with his teammate. It's been a titanic battle between the two, with 6 points resulting in the difference at the before this final race. And they've both thrown everything at each other. A DNF in Monaco for Jeffy really allowed Salu to capitalise with a P3 finish there. Gained him a lot of points in the championship. And they've been back and forth all season long. But it's going to come down to this final lap. Salu looks completely out of it. Jeffy looks to be the driver that is in form. He's putting pressure on Duffy. He wants the overtake. He wants the final race win of the season, of the game. He wants that for himself as he puts more pressure on Duffy as we head now towards what could be the final overtaking spot for him towards turn 4. Is he going to have enough top speed? No, he's not. He's going to hold position for this time. But now he's just got sector 2 to manoeuvre. If he can stick close enough, could be an overtake on the line as Tsunami and Pablos swap round. Jeffy goes to the inside. Duffy maybe not wanting to lead towards the final straight. And it's looking to be Jeffy's championship. He can see it now as we're on the final lap. The final few corners as he's rounding through turn 10. Behind Duffy, it doesn't even matter that he's not won this race, but he is looking to win the championship as we come into the final braking zone of the season. Jeffyboy, after everything, 4 race wins this season, and I believe what was 1 pole position. Jeffyboy is going to come across the line. He wins the championship. Just ahead of Salu, Jeffyboy wins the Drivers' Championship in Division 2. Duffy wins the race, but Jeffy takes the championship win. Level rounds off a great result for Mercedes, round in P4. P5 and 6 for Ferrari, as Marley gets P8 in the final race of the season. Jones gets some points for Aston Martin. It's not enough to overthrow Racing Bulls, who will finish P6 in this championship. And there we go. We are all finished. The final part of the championship, the celebrations of the season. Oh, shit. There's no particles because particles are horrible. As there we are. The season is over. Jeffyboy comes out, I don't know, top. Yes, Marley PA. I know. I'm so proud of you. As I didn't really want it to show me the results anyway, to be honest. Hopefully someone else picks up race director, because yeah, we're having a little issue there trying to load in. Hello, James. What do you want? Don't want to see the results anyway, to be fair. Hope no one has any pens they want removed. Wow, that is the end of the season. Got any happy notes for me, bud?
Middle.
I don't know if interviews is, to be honest. The font doesn't seem to be great.
W Josh Duffy.
Yeah, bro gets the final win. I'm
We're
so
back
ill, by
ahead
the
of
way.
Ferrari.
I'm just...
Yeah, I know. Just end the stream.
Well, that is the end of the season. It seems that he didn't want an interview, the champion, but that's fair enough. We are gonna sign off there, to be honest, because I have no reason to be here. But yeah, thank you guys for watching throughout the course of the whole season, and we'll join you tomorrow